10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, it is summertime and hope we are all having fun and keeping safe. I welcome you to this month's episode of your program, The Platform. As you are aware, on The Platform, we discuss and proffer alternative solutions to issues posing challenges to us as a people, and this episode will not be an exception. There is a common treatable disease frequently carried as a gene by passionate, dedicated, dynamic and visionary leaders. While it is most often found among founders, the disease can also manifest itself in non-founders, relationships, and even in the corporate world. That disease is what I call ownership syndrome. It is evident that many new businesses and relationships have crumbled as a result of ownership syndrome. For this reason, and on your program today, we shall be discussing ownership syndrome with references to businesses, families, relationships, and even religion organizations. To discuss this topic with me today are two business entrepreneurs, a gentleman and a beautiful lady, and both with friendly personalities. Sit back as they introduce themselves after this short break. So you're welcome back from that short break. And before I went on that short break, I told you that I've got two wonderful people here to discuss the topic ownership syndrome with me. So I'm going to leave them to introduce themselves. So can we please meet you, sir?
Yeah, my name is Bukki, Solanke, and I'm a real estate agent here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I've been a real estate agent for about 4 years now.
Wow.
Prior to that, I was a property manager. I still have my credentials, property manager, by the way. So I was a property manager for about 12 years before delving into being sales aspect of real estate. So altogether, I've been in the real estate now for about 16 years altogether.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, you're welcome,
Unless you want to know more.
Oh, no. Let's just pause there for now. So can we please meet you, ma'am?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Toyin, Seidu. I'm an entrepreneurship person back in Nigeria, but right now I'm working, and at the same time I have my business aside because I can't let go of business. That is where life is.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So that's where life is, and I'm now into event management, and with God the glory, I just started, and it's about 2 years going, and it's going well.
Amen. And it's going to thrive in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So let's dive into what we have today as a discussion. And I'm going to start with you. So let me start today by asking you, what is ownership syndrome in your words?
Ownership syndrome is the same thing as founder syndrome. What do I mean by that? The owner of the business, I'm the one starting it, want to have the upper edge, want to have the ownership of that business, that I am the owner. So that's why I said founder ownership syndrome. Okay.
And what about you, sir?
I see it as a form of mentality of owning something. You created or established something, and you want to be seen and recognized with that thing, and no one else has the right to that thing.
Like it's attached to you.
Exactly, it's attached to you. It's called by your name, even if it's not named after you. You still want to be known by that thing.
Your identity is wrapped around it.
So anything that comes outside of that thing, maybe that wants to come and interfere with what you see in that thing, you don't welcome it. You understand? So it's all about you.
It's all about. So
Yeah.
that's going to take me to the next question. So why do people, I want us to stress the why. Why do people have a sense of ownership to other people's lives, intellectual properties, and so on and so forth?
I will take it to the foundation.
Okay. And can you please explain it on that?
Foundation means from childhood. Let's take, for instance, a child is playing and has a toy, right? And doesn't want to share the toy with others. What do we say? You learn to share, right? If that child is not trained to learn how to share, they grow with that mentality. If you take that toy from that child, they start crying, right?
Yeah.
Because they identify themselves with that thing. If they see someone else, even if it doesn't belong to them, right?
Yes.
For the fact that they've been given the right to play with that thing, they believe it's theirs. You see it in organizations, you see it in churches, you see it in any setting.
Even in relationships.
Even in homes,
Yeah.
you see it. They want to take control and everything revolves around them. And again, it has to do with attention seeking, ego thing, ego trip. All right? So when some people want to start a business, they want it. Some people start business because for good cause.
Yes.
Why some people want to start business because they want to be seen as doing something. That's where that ownership syndrome seeps in. They start that business. They want to be recognized that, yes, this is me. Look at me now. See what I've become. Now, if they succeed at the initial stage of that business, they believe, oh, nothing else matters. If anybody wants to bring in any idea, whatever, they don't welcome it. They may appear to welcome it in public, but at the back,
they have a way to just discard it.
Push it to the side.
Okay.
So it's about them.
And why do you feel people have sense of ownership to other people and their lives? I just want to hear from your own point of view.
Because of self-importance, and they want to micromanage people.
Micromanage.
Yes.
And what do you mean by micromanage?
Their decision is right. What I want is my business. I'm the one that have the idea. I'm the one that knows why I started the business. So you can't come in and give me what I did not plan for. What I didn't put into my business.
Even if it's going to help the business
They
survive?
don't want to. Most of them, not all. Some are ready, but it's rare. Because they think that I'm the one that labor all through the night. I'm the one that got the vision. I'm the one that have this. I'm the one that have the idea. So at the end of the day, they are not ready. So even if it's going to help the business, they are not. They might, just as Solanke said, they might pretend in your presence that they're going to use it, but they'll trash it once you're not there.
Okay, so this is going to take me to the next question. From my personal observation, many businesses within the Black African community have collapsed, crumbled due to this silent inherent syndrome. Like, it is my idea and the brain. I am the owner and my decision is final. What are your thoughts on this?
What I say is, mostly it happens to sole proprietorship, that it is my own business. And what happens is, if you don't see your business growing far beyond where you want it to go, you will not welcome ideas. Definitely, it works from the beginning. Your idea, this is what I want, definitely it will work, but it will take you to a limit. And that limit, if you're not sensitive to it, you will remain in that place.
In that spot.
Yes. But if you welcome it and you know that, oh, okay, I want to grow, I want to go beyond this level, you will welcome it. But most of the time, we think that when people bring an idea, that particular ownership is not there for them. They think that, oh, the person that is coming might want to take it over.
Or like they're losing grip.
Yes, they are not having their ownership, let me put it that way. They are not having that ownership on that thing. They are not, how would I put it? Control. Thank you, Mr. Solanke. Control. They don't have that control again. So it's self-esteem, low esteem, we come in and, meanwhile, the person might come in a good way.
In a good manner.
But it depends, really. For me, I have a business. For example, Solanke is telling me that is event to be, that's not the way they're doing event now. You need to put this, and I'm still holding back to the old idea
that you had.
That I have. I can't move forward.
And
so that means you're constrained within that cocoon. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
I believe it's more even fundamental than that. The mindset of creating a business comes from why are you creating that business? Or you are establishing an organization or anything. Why are you doing it? I want to start my own church. Why are you doing it? So we need to go back to the why.
To the reason.
To the reason. Some were deprived when they were growing up and they wanted to prove a point. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, because they were it could be money, it could be lacking, maybe they didn't have money in their family and they were hungry or
and
something like that.
And they want to now prove a point
and they wanted
to people.
Prove, no, I must do this for my family. All right? And if they happen to succeed in that thing, maybe they try, they thrive, and they do it. While they're doing that, they don't want to listen to anybody until they succeed. And if they succeed, if they do not change their mindset, which we call paradigm shift, they need to have an encounter with a different idea from what they have been bringing with them. Otherwise, they continue to flow in that line. If that business succeeds, don't forget they've employed people in that business. They've brought many people in. They now have probably connection here and there. So everything is wired around them. And if you look at those people that have ownership mentality or the syndrome thing that we're talking about, they employ people that they know.
The people they can control.
Exactly. They want loyalty. People who can tell them that can fit their ego, right? That make them feel good about themselves. And those are the people they're going to... And I don't know if you've come to that part yet, but the downside to that is transition is very difficult.
Okay, that takes me to the next question. Yeah. Some founders have their identities wrapped around their organization and everything is just about them. They give less consideration to what becomes of the organization when they are no more. And their mentality is such that as long as they exist, it's either their opinion, idea, or none. Do you feel this is right?
It's not right.
Good.
Right?
And can you buttress more?
It's not right. But why? It comes back to why. Why did they establish that organization? If it revolves around you, that means you are myopic in your mindset. You can't think beyond yourself. If anything happens to the business, when I've seen a business back in Nigeria, it was an advertising agency, and he called a meeting, right? Called all his staff, and he said, "Oh, you're not behaving, you're not performing, you're not doing this, we're not productive, or I can pack this thing up and go to the US," without thinking, what becomes of the people that you have employed? Now, if the mindset that you had when you wanted to establish the business is that this business must transcend me.
Definitely.
Go beyond me. I want to build a legacy. I want to reach out to people so that many mouths more can be fed.
Yes.
All right? If that is not the mindset, if it's a mindset of I want to be rich, I want to be seen as all
about me.
And all about me, you fall within that cocoon. It's a bubble. You can't come out of it. So if anything bursts that bubble, that's the end.
True.
It's not right, yes, because a lot of people will suffer. Yes. Not only the person who started the business, because you have family, you have everything, they will suffer. We've seen the example of that happening.
Yes.
Even look at...
So many people.
Okay, let me take, for instance, we have this business here. This business mogul into fashion, I'm not going to mention his name, that has problem. The company is named after him, by his name. He has problem, and what happened to the business?
It went down.
It went down. But from what I heard, I think he had that kind of ownership syndrome thing going on around him. And even in Nigeria, it's happened before. A multi-billionaire that died. And after he died, what happened to his business? Everything went. Fizzle into the oblivion. So what do we want to do? Do we want to continue with that kind of thing? Do we want that kind of thing to happen to us? And that is why it's not good.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir. So, Sister Toyin, I'm coming back to you now. I strongly believe that organizations thrive when different ideas and innovation are welcomed from people around. Unfortunately, I have seen some founders feel threatened and, they feel insecure when they see people trying to help or suggest corrections to what has been the norm. Now, have you had such experiences before? And if yes, can you please share with us to understand what and how you managed such situation?
Thank you. Normally, I never come across that. It has never happened with me where I work. But what I think do cause all those things, as I said earlier on, and as Solanke have said, when the owner thinks that they are not welcoming ideas, they are not ready to listen. I think that is what really affects and bring all those things that makes it to happen. I've never experienced it. Maybe I'm fortunate to work even as a manager that time. When we tender ideas, they welcome it. So I've not really have an experience.
Okay, what about in relationships? If not in organization where you've worked, what about in relationship with probably other people? Have you had such experiences where somebody just, like the attitude is all about owning you, owning the idea, not ready to accept whatever innovation or new ideas you are bringing in?
One thing about it is you don't allow people to own you. You own yourself. So once you have that idea, that even in church, maybe your pastor, fine, they are your spiritual aid, but the pastor didn't own you. You have your idea. You can speak. So whatever it is that they were trying to do, fine, we need to respect them. We need to obey them, but not that they own you. I'm repeating that one. Nobody owns anybody. We have an idea, and if my idea is not working, maybe there's something I think that, is not really working in the church, and I'm trying to okay, then it depends on relationship. Let me go to that. Your relationship with your pastor matters, and the way you put the idea. Don't let us forget, pastors, husbands, they are human beings. They want to be respected, They want to be like, I own it. Just like Solanke said that when you have something and you, at the end of the day, you achieve that thing, it makes you to feel like, I can do more. So no idea is welcome from such person.
Okay.
So the owner, when it comes to ownership, I don't really believe that someone should tell me, just like you telling me that you own me. You don't own me. My husband don't own me.
Well, actually, in most cases, they wouldn't even come saying it, but their attitudes, the way they relate with you will actually show that. I'm going to pause you, and I'm coming back to Mr. Solanke now. So, what do you feel? Have you ever had such experience whereby probably you are in a relationship with somebody and you sense it that the attitude, it's like this guy feels I'm owned by him?
Well, I've seen it happen. Yeah, in different settings, in organizations, in churches, in non-profits. Even in I'm an entrepreneur as well.
Entrepreneur, yeah.
I'm self-employed. I hear things, right? I'm going to start with myself. I think it starts with character and attitude. If you are not formed in character-wise and you do not have a positive attitude, then it's going to be a problem. Now, there's this saying that no man can rise beyond the level of their knowledge.
Yes.
Whatever you know per time, that's what you know. The moment you know something better, it's like an awakening, right? And that is if you subject yourself to wanting to learn that new thing. But some people, change is difficult. Some people, it's because they have been molded in certain way, they cannot change. In the church, a pastor started a church, all right, and everything is going okie-dokie, everything is fine, beautiful, glitters and everything. and everybody's saying yes sir, I have, my spiritual father and everything. It goes into their head. All right? They may not know that it's gone into their heads.
Yes.
When you have one person who respects you seriously, and everything you say is like oracle, you feel good.
Yeah.
Now imagine you have 5 people.
Ego.
Right? Now you have 1,000 people doing the same thing.
Oh, wow.
And your character is not molded yet at that time. Then you start seeing yourself. You won't even pray anymore because you feel that you know everything. Everything you say in your mouth is like oracle. Because maybe you say something and the prophecy comes to pass. The same thing in organization. Because you think of an idea. You think of an idea, and because you think of that idea, you call a meeting in your office and you throw it open, and that idea comes to pass. You pat yourself on the back, forgetting that there are people around you who made it happen. Okay? If one falls into that, then everyone, what start happening around you is resentment, and you don't see it. And that is the beginning of the death. I don't know if that's the question you asked.
Yes,
or maybe I've deviated from it.
No. You're actually on track.
Okay, good.
I was just looking for an experience whereby probably you had an experience where you sensed it that, you are being micromanaged.
Yes.
Because I actually had, I have my share. and
how do I say this? Okay, yes. It's happened to me for a couple of years back. I was in England. I was working in this organization as a estate manager, and I had to go on estate inspection. And there was this new manager she was my colleagues, right? Just promoted. I went on the estate. While I was driving around, I saw her on the estate. I was thinking, what are you doing here? She wanted to see if I was actually doing what I said I went to do. I felt bad. Then I go back to the office. I challenged her. Oh no, I was just there, but I know people told me that's what she normally does. People like that has to do with character, attitude, worldview. If your worldview does not change, you continue. But that wouldn't affect me because I'm just me. I just do whatever I want to do. I can decide to resign from the organization. Even if I don't get another job immediately. I'm kind of decisive like that. All right.
But not everybody is actually decisive. So some might just have to go on with that situation because they don't have another option.
Everyone will need to come to the point in their lives where they don't let other people determine what their destiny is going to be.
And at that point, let's use like a worship place, for example.
Okay.
By the time you are telling maybe the pastor or the head that this and that is wrong, they see you as a rebel. What do you see to that? I'm coming to you, sir. Okay, let's start from you, man.
They see you as rebel. Most of the time, just as we said, is attitude, upbringing. As they used to say, they said, is your behavior you take to religion. Is what is in you that is your religion, not
what you're taking.
So it's about attitude. It's what is deposited in you. So if you're trying to correct, for me, from that aspect, you need to understand the person you're working for. Communication is very key. Once you understand each other, you understand this person, you understand who he is. I understand what Sister Bunmi is, what she wants, and I'm trying to Sister Bunmi, can we do it this way? Communication matters. The way you bring this thing up matters.
I'm not going to accept that at this point.
Really?
Because I have been in a situation whereby I felt that I have that relationship and that I can, chip in certain things. And in the end, it came back to me like I wanted to that was actually what I got back. That was the feedback. And they did everything, to push me and it was like, what is happening? I really felt bad because all I was just doing is to make what you are doing better. but it was taken in the negative way. What do you say to that, sir?
Constructive criticism. All right. Not everyone can take criticism. Right? No.
Positively.
Yeah. That's why you need to know who you're dealing with. You study people and you see how you can put things right. All right? Despite that, some people, irrespective of how you place it, they still see you as a threat.
Yes.
They still see you as
you are better than them.
Yeah, not even that. They might say, "What idea has she got?
Oh, shit.
You know, what has it got? I
Was
did
she
this.
there when we started?
I did this. I brought it this far.
Where were you when
and
we
what
did
we are
this?
doing is working.
Yeah.
And if it's working, don't break it. Right? And we have a vision, we have a mission, we have vision,
Goal.
mission, and whatever.
Yeah.
There's one other Sean that they normally use. And we have everything and it's working. Okay? And for as long as it's working, and someone that is bringing another idea, they see it as a different idea, alien to whatever that they have.
Is it
on
different,
place.
or because they don't just want to see the positivity in what you are bringing?
Maybe they don't like it.
Because it is all about them.
Yes. Sometimes it may be they don't like your idea. See, perception matters a lot as well. I may be looking at you and I have a mindset about you. Mind that the mindset doesn't necessarily have to be the right one or whatever. It may not be true. I may be delusional about it, but I have that mindset about you. Some people form opinion. It may be your carriage and they see it as, oh, this is what she is, this is what he is.
And because of
All
that,
right?
they
Because
just
of that,
want
they
to
kind of create some kind of
fence,
wall,
like a barrier.
in between. So if you want to cross over, they fence you off. It happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to pause here. We're going to pause and we'll quickly go on a very, very short break, after which we will continue on your program, The Platform.
Chess King's Car Rental. We provide cars, SUVs, and trucks for rent. We will deliver the car to you at your house, office, airport, or any other location that works best for you. Our priority is to make our customers extremely satisfied with car rental service. Try us today. To make a reservation, visit our website at www.chesskings.ca or call us on 204-887-7777.
What class is key? We achieve what we say. At Maximum Reliable Management Incorporation, we are the bedrock of standard shipment of goods anywhere and anytime all over the world. Expertise in service car purchase and shipment. We have a team of professionals in cargo and freight handling. But wait for it, our collaborating workforce are spot on in speedy delivery and most affordable international shipping fees. Your shipped items are safe with proper inspections and effective delivery at Maximum Reliable Management Incorporation. Now, that is the customer's art of everything. Contact us today on 204-296-2677 at 1145 Redundant Street, Winnipeg, Canada, and Alaja Abiba Mogaji, Block B, Shop 7, Agoyan Rose International Market, Ladipo Mushin, Lagos State, Nigeria, on 080-674-30912. Your first time will be every time.
Hello there. I am Bukki Solanke of Maximum Realty, your favorite real estate agent. With almost 15 years as a real estate professional, starting from United Kingdom and in Canada to being a licensed realtor here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, I am passionate in helping people make the right decision when it's time for them to purchase their dream homes and in selling their properties. I walk with you every step of the way, throughout all the process, to ensure that you do not fail. The professionalism, personal touch, and genuine empathy that I employ in getting the job done are what set me apart, and also help build strong bond with all my clients, which makes them to always come back, as well as refer their friends and families to me. Call me today on 204-997-6117 to schedule an appointment, and I am all yours. Bukki Solanke, your trusted family realtor.
I welcome you back from that short commercial break, and we're still on your program, The Platform. And on today, we are discussing the topic, ownership syndrome. Before I proceed, let me quickly tell you that you shouldn't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and also share with friends and families. All right? And I still have in the studio with me, Bukki Solanke and Toyin Seidu. So, we are taking this discussion to another level, and I want to start by saying ownership syndrome does really exist between families and relationships, and I think it is more predominant within Black African communities. Let's just say that. And for instance, members of your family and my family naturally have this sense of ownership to the extent that they expect you to shoulder responsibilities even beyond your capabilities. I'm going to start with you, sir. Can you share your thoughts and experience on this?
Well, I want to disagree a little bit that among the Black community, it's
everywhere.
It's everywhere. Okay, it's an humanity thing. All right, but it depends on where everyone is coming from. All right, and circumstance of the situation, right? Yeah. Anyway, now I've seen Caucasians do this thing. They controlling wives, controlling husbands.
Wow.
They want to be seen as the one who is in charge of everything. Right? It be everywhere. We read it every time. What is going on?
Yeah.
Right? We see people going out saying that fathers for justice. Okay, what are they fighting for? They want to fight for their right because they believe that their wives or ex-wives have taken over from them, and they've been deprived of the access to their children. All right, you see it within micro families. What is happening? Then in our own, the reason why we see Black Africa, because that's where we're closer to.
Or probably because, let's say, maybe it's predominant within us.
Because we are closer to that. All right? So now, what we see is what is around us.
Yes.
Okay? And what is around us is what we report. Right? So if we are not in the other area, then we don't see it. Now, it happens in, well, what I've observed in around us in our community is this. Many people are deprived. You know, I mentioned it earlier on, that maybe poverty or something like that, lacking this and that. Okay? Now, someone now rose within that family. Okay?
Yes.
And it appears to be someone that's going to take everyone out of poverty. Okay? Now, everyone, because there is no support system in our community, government does not provide that support system.
Nothing.
That person becomes the local government in his own family. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So everybody wants to have a piece of him, right? And you know what happens? With the little resources he has, he's not even growing anywhere. Okay? After a while, he himself might start seeing himself as the all in all.
The all in all. Forgetting that he also has his own.
Because some vital decisions will not be made without him being present, because it has to do with money.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or if he's in position of power and is able to help one or two people, everybody, not even only his family, his friends will bring their own brothers and sisters, or the friends want him to help them. They start looking up to him as the Alpha and Omega.
Okay.
So that's what happens.
Okay. And the family or the friends now feel that They own this single person.
Because he's been friendly with them. He's been friends with them from childhood.
And if he says no, it becomes an issue.
He becomes an enemy. He
What
doesn't
do you
want to
think of
help.
that, ma?
For me, because we have as we said, the way we grew up in Africa. If your family, I remember one family, yes, that they have only one room. They all live in one room. They share love. They share everything together. Even the sister had to go out of her way in order to help the junior one. She deprived of herself going to higher institution. So the brother that she helped, let me put it that way, to graduate, now have a job. What do you expect? She'll be expecting that person should give back to her.
Reciprocate.
Yes.
Okay.
But if care is not taken on that person's part, it will die on time.
How? Wow.
The lady.
The guy. Because now they are depending on him. If he did not make them to realize this is my limits, because they expect too much from him. They expect too much from him. And if he did not really let them to understand, we're talking about extended, and don't forget he has his own immediate family.
Yeah.
So that place, that person needs to know how to manage. Management comes in to balance it.
How does he balance it? Even after telling them, and they're still like, but I did this for you, just like you said that the sister deprived herself. So automatically in that sister's subconscious mind, she's waiting for the guy to come back. And so whenever she comes out with this, the guy must answer. Whenever she comes out with that request, the guy must do it.
Yeah, that's why I said that must is not a must, or else that person wants to die on time.
And if he says no, it is going to be an issue.
It depends. That is where wisdom comes in, really, because we are looking at someone at the middle of say now. The family is there, his own immediate family is there, the extended family is there, and he needs to balance it.
So in essence, who owns
they
who?
don't. No, nobody owns.
They own him or he owns
That is
them.
where that ownership comes in. Nobody owns anybody. Nobody.
No,
Exactly. Nobody should actually own.
I understand that.
you.
What I'm saying is this.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that someone sent him to school.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Someone sacrificed.
Someone sacrificed, sent him to school. That
Yes.
person may have ownership syndrome.
Yes.
Right? That sent him to school. Because I sent you to school, I deprived myself to
Yes.
this. I struggled, I worked hard for you to become who you are today. So you need to give back. It's your turn to do that. If that person is not very careful, the lady that you mentioned might now want to start controlling that guy's life.
Yes.
That is the ownership syndrome thing we're talking about.
We're talking about, yes.
All right?
But at the same time, that person, the guy now, should also know that nobody, I'm still saying it, nobody owns anybody. You might help me as a sister, but that doesn't mean you should control me.
Well, yes, yes, you are right. But this sister, don't forget, I'm trying to bring in this emotion.
Yeah.
The sister sacrificed her own life to send this guy to school. So automatically, the sister will always come from, I did this for you, bringing those emotional blackmail to surprise the guy.
Now we are talking about the sister.
Yeah.
All right? We're not talking about him. Because
it is the sister.
It's not him that is displaying ownership syndrome.
It
it's
is
the
the
sister
sister.
that has a tendency
because the sister
of
did all.
displaying ownership syndrome.
Yeah.
Because he did it. All right? Now, sorry to... I just want to have something to...
No, I'm still...
inject that.
Yeah.
Because if we look at it, let's bring it home a little bit here. We're in Canada. Manitoba has nomination program. You can nominate friends, you can nominate families and everything. Now you go ahead to nominate your family member and they come here. Okay? Now you want to know everything that is happening in their lives.
I'm actually coming there. I'm still coming there.
Yeah. So, okay.
All right.
Let me jump in.
Okay. So about the guy and the sister, the sister is going to end up feeling ownership of the guy.
If care is not taken.
If care is not taken, because she sacrificed, and she will always hammer on that.
Just like we said in business, it can only go for a short period. That's just the truth. She can only have that authority for the short period. That's the way we say that the owner thinks that, oh, I'm the owner of the business, I don't want ideas. But to get to a stage, it's only, as we said, that the business, we don't want it to grow beyond.
Well, how does she manage to step out of that mentality so that she doesn't have ownership syndrome? The sister.
That sister?
Yeah.
The only thing, as I said, that brother needs to make her to understand.
No. It has to be her. To me, my own understanding is...
Relationship.
Okay.
No, if you are talking about relationship,
yeah.
I have relationship with you. You are my brother. Do you understand? We will have a way of communicating. We have a way of understanding each other. It might be painful. It might be painful to her that, oh, you are ignoring me. But at the same time, you as my brother needs to make me to realize that, sister, come, I've done this for you. I have my family. It might be painful. Truth, as we say, truth is painful.
What if she doesn't understand?
And in most cases, she won't understand.
Yeah, what if she doesn't understand? Now, my own take on this is,
the
brother can do whatever he likes in that situation or circumstance. Okay? You can't change anyone. We can only change ourselves.
Yes.
All right? That's why I say no one owns anyone. Just as we can't change anyone. You can't change anyone. That sister will need to come to the realization that I don't own him, but I've been used as a vessel to help him to become who he is. All right? Now it's on him to take it and pay forward. All right? And to help someone else. Okay? The sister should do whatever God has sent her to do and move on.
But we're still saying that the sister refused to understand.
That is the ownership syndrome.
That's the ownership syndrome
we are talking about. Because she feels she owned him.
She owned him. She did
but
everything.
But get to a stage that she will realize, she will realize.
That is the downside of ownership syndrome.
Exactly.
There will always be crisis.
There will be crisis. There will always be
friction
and all sorts. And we were about moving on to that nomination part. Yeah, can you buttress? I mean, tell us more on that. Because I've actually seen a lot too.
I've not seen it happen, but I've heard people that happened to. They were nominated by friends here. They came here and the friend feels every decision they want to make in their lives, they must report to them.
Yeah.
You want to buy a car, you have to tell me. You want to apply for a job, you have to tell me. I need to know you want to buy a house.
Yeah.
Why?
It's actually happening.
And I'm going to say this. That person who is expecting too much is the one that has
the ownership
character
syndrome.
problem.
Yeah.
All right? Ownership syndrome.
Yes.
All right? And they need to work on themselves, that they have been used. Let them move on. I've seen people that have helped many people here in this country. When everything was still good, you can nominate a lot of people, nominated as many as 700 and something like that, and they never went after any one of them claiming ownership.
Can I quickly ask this question? Because you've nominated somebody, you've brought somebody here, does that person owe you something?
You should not feel that person owes you anything. You should do it, and you have been used as a vessel to do it.
Yeah.
Move on. It's on that person to always acknowledge you that, oh, without this person, I would not be here. You understand? But don't make it a duty of that person to always do that.
Another question. 10 years later, after the nomination and probably you want to do something, is it an obligation on the people you have nominated to do something for you if they feel it's not really necessary?
If they don't do anything for you, it's on them.
It depends, yeah.
That's
their
it.
opinion.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm going to move on to the next question. And this is just that I've heard from friends, particularly married couples, saying my partner does not allow me to express myself. My partner doesn't want me to do my things my way. Are couples supposed to own themselves? I'm going to start from you.
That's the, because really for me, we're talking about couple here. What did you say me before we get married?
Okay.
There's something. And nobody, I'm still going back to that word, nobody owns anybody. You are my husband, fine. You are my spouse, fine. But know that, and the one thing about it is where there is love, really, I don't think there should be ownership syndrome. I don't think there should. Where there is good communication, I don't think there should be ownership syndrome.
When there is good communication.
Yes, good communication.
Okay,
we can put it that way, good communication, because not all the communication are good. You're right.
Yeah.
You are very right. So a good communication.
But any communication, bad or good, is better than no communication.
Yeah.
Because it makes you to know people, right? Or who they are. It makes you to understand each other better, where you stand and where you're going.
Okay.
You understand? Talk, all right, and interact.
But
It
why?
brings out the real you.
But why do couples feel that I own him? She owns. I mean, why? Why should that come in between couples?
Fundamentals.
What do you mean by fundamentals?
Where you're coming from.
How?
Yeah, there's what is called predisposition in human formation. As we are growing, what we see, who we're surrounded by, they form us. Okay? What you see your parents do, how your mom talk to your dad, how your dad talk to your mom, how your brothers talk and relate to each other. You may not know until you get into that situation. Oh, my dad beats my mom. I will never do that to any woman. Then you get into marriage and you get provoked. And with little things, and all the things that came to your mind at that time was, oh, no wonder my dad used to beat my mom. Then you strike. Then you are repeating exactly the same thing you said you're not going to do.
You wouldn't do.
You have seen it happen. It's gone into the subconscious. But if you have never seen it happen, you won't do it. I've been pushed before. Okay? But I said, no. Who are you? What are you doing? Rather, what did I do? I walked away to calm down. And because I have never been in that situation before, the person involved walked after me, scared, started apologizing. Then we talked and everything went. And that was the last time. Now, in relationship, everybody wants to have sense of belonging. The woman wants to have sense of belonging. The man wants to have sense of belonging. If that is not ironed out from the time the relationship started, there's going to be friction in that relationship. Understanding is key. And what brings understanding? Communication, healthy communication. It's not about argument. Argument is out of crisis, the friction, whatever, and whatever it is that you have been building up, or whatever the baggage that wherever you are carrying from wherever you're coming from. All those things has to be dropped at the altar of marriage. But many people don't realize that. They still continue. They wonder how I want my sense of belonging. I want girls' night out. I want boys this thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But do you agree among yourself? But the moment that is not understood in that relationship, there will always be someone in that relationship that wants to control everything. I'm being disrespected. Why will you talk to me that way? Right? Mostly men. Right? I'm a man.
Okay, thank you for mentioning that.
No, it's true. No, mostly men, because sometimes you feel slighted. Because women generally, I'm sorry to say this,
we talk.
We have mouth.
So, yes.
You understand? You can express. Men can bottle things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And anything that touches the ego of a man,
don't
you
go there.
have destroyed him.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the reason why I said that lift your man up. If you lift him up, he's going out of the house, he's going to conquer the world. All right? Yes. But the moment you talk down on him and everything like that, you may not realize that you're doing that. And there must be reason for doing that. Maybe, like I said, where that person is coming from. And the same thing with a man. Okay? So it takes two to tango. If we do not have that understanding in marriage, there will always be one prevailing personality who wants to control. It doesn't have to be, it's not a gender thing. It may be a woman, it may be a man.
Yes. And what do you have to add to that?
For me, as you said, background. Some people come from a good home, well trained, but maybe the relationship with, I'm going to friendship now, not the kind of people you move with. I remember, let me cite an example, when the children are growing up in school. The first one, when he got to like higher class, they now, with his friend, they gathered together. The junior one used to call him by name. So that one just called him. They said, how did you allow that? Meanwhile, I didn't think about that. They now put that thing in him. So that's how this eldership, I'm older than you, comes in. And he wants to now impose it on him. Which can easily happen between couples too.
Yes.
What we hear, what we feed ourselves with.
The people we move with.
Yes. The information we feed ourselves with, the relationship we have, the kind of friends we have.
Yeah.
And that is why we see I'm not saying the man is right, but what you're saying in your friend, he might have seen something that is not going to help the marriage. And he's trying to pass the message to the wife. But the wife is like, let me have it my way. Not until the wife got born that we now realize that, oh, my husband said so.
Okay, so let's go a little bit spiritual. Does joining or fellowshipping with a group of people make you become a commodity that is owned by the leadership? That's one. And are you obligated to sharing your personal life with either members of the group or the leadership?
Number one, commodity. I'm not a commodity, so I won't really, for that, yeah, really. Because commodity is something you can trade.
Yeah.
So they can't trade me. Nobody can trade me. Nobody can sell me. I don't have price. They can't put price on me. So with that one, nobody, no ownership or ownership
you as their property.
They see me as the property. Yeah. No, I'm not anybody's property. But when it comes to, okay, can we discuss, like some people, for some people, they're like, oh, the relationship between you and your pastor or women, or maybe you're in a group in the church. It depends. You might have some issue that you think that, oh, I'm safe with this person. I'm free with this person. I can share with. But before you get to that to that level, you know the kind of person the person is.
Okay.
Not the one that talks around. Not the one that will leak.
How are you going to decipher that this person wouldn't talk around?
Behavior. There is no way you will move. They said there is no way you will move. I can't move with brother. I know that some people can hide, but you cannot hide forever. They said behavior is smoke. Yeah. You can't hide it. It will surely come up.
It will come up.
Okay. What, if I may come in a little bit in the area of, we're talking about church or the spiritual setting. It's spiritual. We call it that, right?
Yeah.
It's intangible. We cannot see it.
It cannot be held.
But slippery slope. Every one of us see ourselves as spiritual, right? And when there is a spiritual leader, the spiritual leader sees himself as above everybody.
Yes.
Rather than seeing himself or herself as a servant. That is why, you see, servant leadership. That's what it's called, right? You are a leader, but you see yourself as a servant. You are a vessel, but mostly among us in our setting, because we are used to having that leadership, spiritual leader figure in our setting. We tend to respect them, and they tend to see themselves as the authority.
And
all right, whatever they say,
to them.
Whatever they say is what goes. Now they've established the church. You come to the church, okay? You become a member of the church. They automatically expect you, because you have now a member of our church, become a church worker. Okay. You become a church worker, they want to tell you exactly what you need to do. Actually, as you are stepping into the church, they are telling you what to do.
Okay.
Forgetting that you come voluntarily.
Exactly.
Okay? You come voluntarily. I can walk out voluntarily. You don't own me. It's between me and God.
That's it.
Okay? If I walk out, I've seen leaders curse a member because they're leaving. I've seen leaders curse them, are saying them, and even announce their name from the pulpit and say this person is excommunicated from the church. I've witnessed it. All right? Is that right? No. Ownership syndrome. That is exactly what is happening there. And it's character flaw. If your character is not shaped before you are entrusted with duty of leadership, you will have that ownership syndrome.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what is happening.
Yes.
And if you look at what normally happens is most of those people, they go down.
They go down with time.
That's it.
Well,
if we read God's genre, we'll see all these things there.
All right. We've really done a lot today. And if we go on and on, and on, we're not going to leave here today because it's a wide topic. And I think we will still have to treat this again.
Yes.
So, Sister Toyin, can you finally give us an advice? What advice do you have for our viewers that may be experiencing ownership syndrome, be it in their relationship, business, or associations?
What I'll just say is we need to submit ourselves. You are starting a business. Where are you taking it to? When you have an idea, be open. Be open to ideas. Even at home, as husband and wife, be open. Don't be so. Just as he said, you see yourself as leader. I know it all.
Once I know it all, it has to be that way.
The idea. No, it's my idea. You don't know it. What do you have to say? No, we shouldn't. Yeah. Where there is love, they said the love covers
all sins.
All sins, you understand? So where there is love, we can easily talk to each other, understand each other.
See things in other people's lenses.
Then even in church that we're talking about, when you're talking about that one, most of the time, it's even the congregation that caused it. So by the time the pastor is getting back at them, they did not realize that they are the one that caused it. Pastor is coming, you carry Bible. Yes, but you're pretending.
But I've seen a pastor.
Okay.
I've seen a pastor of a mega church, which I was part of from inception, who refused to fall for that trap.
Yeah, of course.
When you understand,
have some of them. Yeah.
And if everyone around him, like there's protocol, there's everything. Say, why? You'll be telling them why. Why are you doing this? Say, no, I want to see them. You walk in. No, pastor, don't do this. He will go and do it. Now, he formed his own character.
That's it.
Now, what happened is this. You are not. We need to come to your question. We need to come to the realization that we are not Alpha and Omega.
Yes.
We are not the beginning and the end. We have to humble ourselves to learn from people who are not even in the position that we're in, because everyone has something to offer.
Yes.
If you feel that everyone is a lesser man, then you have failed. Okay? So now, if we get into that situation, into that form, that no, I'm a leader, but I need to listen to this, I need to listen to that in order to let this thing grow. If you are not in that circle, the vision will continue.
Definitely.
Then transition will happen.
Oh, yes. Thank you very, very much. And thank you so much for coming on to this program, Mr. Solanke. And thank you, Mr. Seidu, for gracing this program. We really appreciate you. And we'll still definitely call upon you because we have to do
part two
of this program. Thank you very much, viewers. Yes. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Ownership syndrome is very rampant in businesses, families, relationships, spiritual associations, and so on. However, according to Warren Buffett, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I'm just going to add, go together with like minds. Whatever relationship you may find yourself, learn to appreciate and respect the other party, their opinion and ideas. Desist from taking people for granted. Also remember, you don't own anyone, not even your spouse or your children. Life is temporal. The moment you are gone, those things you're holding tight naturally onto gets into other hands. Why not treat every day as the last day, such that when you are gone, your good deeds will continue to speak for you? Let people fly. Allow them to make their mistakes and learn from them. Advise, but do not micromanage them, because experience, they say, is the best teacher. And this is where we draw the curtains on this episode of your program. Remember, together and in love, we can make the world a better place.